Shalom everyone, this is Rabbi Leynor, and today we're going to talk about a touchy subject among some Christians, and that is baptism, which comes from a Greek word. One of the key figures in the New Testament is known as John the Baptist, and I'm sure some people have believed that this meant John belonged to a Baptist denomination or founded the First Baptist Church of Jerusalem. If you happen to believe either, you're wrong. The first thing I want to point out is that Christians did not invent baptism. So listen to this text here. This is from Mark. And so John the Baptist appeared in the wilderness preaching a baptism of repentance for the forgiveness of sins. So the water would wash away the impurities. The whole Judean countryside and all the people of Jerusalem went out to him, confessing their sins. They were baptized by him in the Jordan River. At that time, Jesus came from Nazareth in Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. That's Mark 1:4-5 and 9. Now, John the Baptist was a Jew doing something that was very common and still is in Judaism. He would have been called, actually, John the Immerser. John, not John the Baptist. Ritual immersion has been an important part of Judaism for thousands of years. A great resource for more information, as with many topics here, is the Encyclopedia Judaica. Now, the term used in the Hebrew Bible for baptism is usually translated as washing, and the purpose is for purification. The person or article to be purified must undergo total immersion in either mayim chayim, live water, living waters, which could be a spring, a river, or sea, or a mikvah, which is a body of water of at least 40 seahs, that's approximately 120 gallons, brought together by natural means. And the perfect example is rain, not drawn from a well. The person or article must be clean and have nothing adhering to him or it, including clothing. Today in modern Judaism, if you're converting somebody, no nail polish or hairspray or lipstick or makeup, any of these things. Right? And the word mikveh literally means collection, and it's used in Leviticus 11:36. This is what it says: nevertheless, a spring or a cistern where there is a collection, literally a mikveh of water, shall be pure. Ritual immersion changes the status of a person or object from tumah, ritual impurity, to tahara, ritual purity. The New Testament provides no information about this for its readers, and why is that? The original members of the Jesus movement were all Jews, and they knew what was taking place and what a mikveh was, and what it was for. They didn't need to be told about the ritual purity and impurity. However, Gentiles who came along later did not have that understanding, so many questions arose about how to perform baptism and why. But let's turn to Encyclopedia Judaica again for additional information about ritual purity. Keep in mind, in general, that in ancient religion, the intent was not as important as having a priest or priestess perform a ritual correctly. Otherwise, they would incur the wrath of the gods. You have to keep that in mind. So that kind of dribbled over into Judaism as well. The priests had to conduct the ritual correctly. Number one, a person or object can be in a state which by religious law prevents the person or object from having any contact with the temple or its cult, members, objects, and rituals. Number two, the state is transferable from object to another in a variety of ways, such as touching the object or being under one roof with it, and is independent of the actual physical condition. So impurity was kind of like cooties, if you got near it, it would contaminate you, literally. Number three, the state of impurity can be corrected by the performance of specified rituals, mainly including ablution, which is ritual immersion, after which the person or object becomes pure once more until impurity is again contracted. That was a great word that Jim uses here. You contract impurity, like a disease. Number 4, the state of impurity is considered hateful to God, and man is to take care in order not to find himself thus excluded from the divine presence. Now, of course, when you're talking to Rabbi Leynor here in 2011, 2012, it's not ritual purity which excludes someone from the divine presence, it's their actions. Number 5, 3 main causes of impurity are apparent. Leprosy, and don't forget, folks, if you had dandruff or a rash in ancient times, they were all under the rubric of leprosy. Now, issue from human sexual organs, and the dead bodies of certain animals. Later, the concept was extended to the unrepentant sinner. In the oldest pictures of Jesus' baptism, estimated to be from the 2nd century, John is standing on the riverbank, and Jesus is standing in the water naked. In Jewish ritual immersion, the person immerses himself or herself and is not dunked under the water by someone else. John's role as the immerser was to make sure that Jesus went completely below the surface of the water. Completely below the surface. Ritual immersion was also required before anyone could enter the temple ritual areas. And it would have also had people like John watching those immersing themselves to make sure they did it correctly. Now, even to this day, when I perform a conversion, there are immersions, a male or female, to make sure that the person, there are immersers, to make sure that the person goes completely under in the case of conversion. It's revisiting the amniotic sac, basically, before birth, and in this case it means a rebirth as a Jewish person. So an immerser would be one to make sure that everything went completely under. Okay? In a future discussion, we'll talk more about this ritual immersion during the 1st century CE. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and learn more about your biblical heritage. Look, please share this with others and visit my webpage at biblicalheritage.org for my other lessons. And if you'd like me to address a specific topic, now with all you brilliant minds out there, you can't tell me that you don't have anything that you would like me to discuss. So email me at my webpage. Before I go, I just wanted to again ask for your support for the Biblical Heritage Center, for the work of Jim Myers and others, because that allows us to give you facts, so you can base your belief system on adult things, and that will help enhance your life. May the Lord bless and protect you. Shalom, my friends.